Welcome back to another video, everybody. Today we are looking at Pokemon card singles from an investing point of view. I have 10 or 11 cards here that I'm going to be sharing with you. These cards range from $2 to $80, so there's kind of something for everybody, like budget-wise. So yeah, I'm not going to ramble on too much longer. Let's get into the first card here. And we're starting with the highest one. $79.99 is what this is going for right now, near mint. You can get it lower, but that's typically like Japanese and Korean cards. So this is the Magikarp. And it's basically the chase card from Paldea Evolved right now. I don't think there's one that's above this in terms of cards. Here's the thing, looking at it right now, it is at a high point, but it's also just been going up and up and up. It went up and then dropped here a little bit in December and November, but it's just continuing to go up. So this one's kind of like at your discretion. If you think it's going to go all the way to over 100, then right now is when you want to get in, or else you'll be too late. But if it also might just end up having a bit of a rise and then fall back down to like $50, so then you can pick some up. But either way, I think this Magikarp card is something you should want in your collection. It's just hard to tell where this price is going to go right now, if it's going to keep going up or if it's going to end up slowing down at some point. I think it ends up going back down a little bit. Like by a little bit, I mean in the 60s. But I mean, I could also see it going to 100, to be honest with you. But we're going to go to the next card. It is actually an Empoleon V alt art from Battle Styles. This is a bit of an older one. Empoleon V, 1, is a very popular Pokemon. And then 2, it's just a nice alt art card. I just don't see how this one's going to stay at 30. Once, you know, all these Battle Styles stuff starts drying up in a year or two, or however many years it takes, I just don't see it staying here. And you look at the price range, it is higher than it has really been. It was a $40 card a year ago at this point, and then it dropped all the way down to, you could almost get it at 20, but it's starting to rise again. So, I mean, I think it is a nice card. I have one of them here. If you want to invest in some cards at this price range, you're either getting an ETB for a little bit more, or you can guarantee yourself one of the best cards in the set for about the same amount. All right, next up is Gengar. Now, Gengar, I might be a little biased. He is my favorite Pokemon, but I also know he is loved by a lot of other One Piece Pokemon fans. This is the VMAX version of Fusion Strike. The chase card in this set, if you don't know, is the Gengar alt art. That card is almost near 200. So the fact that the VMAX card isn't even at 10 kind of surprises me. I think this card at least makes it to 10. In the past year, it's been sitting around the $7 range. So if there's a good time to pick it up, it's probably right now. I don't see this card dropping below 5 ever. And I just feel like it at least gets above 10 within a year or two. We can look back at this video in a year or two and see how my predictions pull out. But it got almost up to 10 in December towards Christmas right there. But it's dropped back down, and I think it goes up to at least 10. This seems to be the floor for it right now. So if there was a time to get in, now is the time. Okay, next one up on the list, we have Charizard Lost Origin Trainer Gallery. I talked about this in the last video. It was like, I think I was titled, I spent $700 on Pokemon, where I bought a bunch of singles. A $3 Charizard card, you can't ask for much more than that. The pull rates on this aren't great. You can pull it pretty easily, I feel like. But also, Lost Origin as a whole has been on the rise. I think the past month, Lost Origin booster boxes have gone up $20 or $25. So I could see this one making a comeback as well. And similar to that Gengar card, I think $3 is the floor here. It's not going below 3. If it goes below 3, it's like $2.50. It's not going crazy low. So I think if you were trying to make a quick couple bucks, you could pick up a few of these and sell them for $6, $7 here in the future and make double your money on the card. As you can see, a year ago, it was at 6 and it's dropped all the way to 3. I have a feeling we're going to start seeing this flip-flop and we're going to see it go up. It's hard to tell. Singles, you got to remember, singles, it's kind of like stocks. Booster boxes are the good stocks. You can invest in a booster box, and most of the time, you're not really going to lose your money. You can at least sell it for what you bought it for or make a profit. But with cards, it's like playing with penny stocks or, meme coins in crypto. These could go crazy, or they could not move at all, or they could end up going backwards. If they go backwards, though, it's not that big of a hit unless you buy 40 of these Charizard cards. But that's the thing with singles. What I'm trying to say with singles is that they are more risky than booster boxes and ETBs. And you gotta remember, if it's a $3 card, it's $3 for a reason. There is a lot of stock right now with the card, so you're just trying to get in it while it's at its floor and hold it. Now here's one, the Lugia V-Star Gold card from Silver Tempest. Now I praised this one in my video a few months ago. I picked 2 of these up. I praised this because I feel like golds and rainbows are really overlooked from the Sword and Shield era, especially in these sets that started to come out with trainer galleries. Trainer galleries kind of took the thunder from golds and rainbows. I've got this card for $11 and it's already at $17. So it's made a $6 profit in just a month. This is February and right now it's at 16. Now, I had the year graph pulled up because a year ago, this was a $24, $25 card, and it's dropped ever since. I think we hit the floor here at this $10, $11 range, and it's not too late to get in. 17 is a little high, but this is easily a $20 card, so you can make a few dollars because I think it's going to at least go to 20 at some point this year. But I could also see it going all the way to 30. We've seen it drop, and now I just think it's going to end up continuing this upward stretch that we've seen this past month. And that's the same with several gold and rainbow cards, in my opinion. So speaking of that, let's talk about a rainbow card here. We got Machamp VMAX from Astral Radiance. The issue with a lot of these rainbows and golds is that the rainbow cards in the set are trainers most of the time, and then the gold cards in the set are items most of the time. So the 1 or 2 Pokemon that end up getting a gold or rainbow card, just depending on what that Pokemon is what it will end up doing in the future. Machamp, maybe not one of the most popular Pokemon ever, but he is an original 151 Pokemon, so he'll always have that to his name. One of the original Pokemon, and this has fallen $5, $4 to $5 in the past year, so we could be at the floor of this one as well. It could go, I could see this falling all the way to 5 at some point, but I really doubt that. Like, I could see it happening, but the chances of it aren't high. I could also see it going up to $14 just as easily as it falling down to 5. I think this is a good price point for it right now to pick it up and hold it for a while. But same with other rainbows. Like, if you just see a rainbow that looks overlooked, I feel like they've been getting overlooked recently. In my eyes, for these Sword and Shield sets, it's going to be hard to get these for under $10 here in a few months, just because of the surge that like booster box prices have been going for these sets. I think cards are a little bit delayed on the surge here, and you could get in pretty quickly. All right, moving into the cheapest card of the video so far. Now, this is where stuff gets riskier, in my opinion. Even $8 is a lot less risky than this $2.50 card. This is Obsidian Flame, Scarlet and Violet, so it's still very new. This card, what is it? It's barely 6 months old, and all it's done is fallen. You never want to buy these cards as soon as the set comes out. It's just fallen since then. I do think it could fall another $1 or so. I don't see this. The main reason this is here is just because of the artwork. Gloom, Gloom's a decent, cool Pokemon, but the artwork on this card, this trippy, little jungle background, is just a really good artwork. So $2.50, I think, is a decent price to pick one up. I don't think that this one's going to move a lot, though. This isn't one that urgently needs to get picked up. In several months, I think we could see it make a change, and that's why it's on this list. And it's just whatever your budget is. If you only got $10 you want to spend, you can get yourself 2 or 3 of these and hold on to them for a while and maybe possibly double your money. Okay, moving on. We've got Umbreon VMAX from Brilliant Stars, the Trainer Gallery card. A $21 Umbreon VMAX card seems to me like a pretty good deal. Evolving Skies is as high as it is price-wise because of the Evolutions, and Brilliant Stars has a couple Evolutions cards that are pretty sick. Like, this card is pretty decent, and we've seen it be a $30 card before, and like several of the cards in this video, we're on this downward trend. And even though we're on the downward trend, I don't see us being on the downward trend for a very long time. I think especially like maybe towards the summertime, we started to see these go up a little bit. And this one goes from 21 to 27 here soon or something like that. And also, I just don't think it's falling from 21 or 20. In the past year, the floor is 20. We're right above that floor. I don't see us falling below that. So I think no matter what, you could end up making a few dollars. But I think this one is a buy and hold for, a long time. I think you're not really buying this one to get a quick turnaround. You're going to hold on to this one for a while just because it is one of those evolutions. And if we continue to see Sword and Shield go up like it has been, this one could be a decent pickup. Now, similar to the Machamp one, we have another rainbow card here, Chilling Reign. One of the second or third most expensive Sword and Shield set right now. And this one is under $10 still. A nice rainbow card, pretty popular Pokemon. Hasn't seen a ton of movement. Yeah, in the past year it's dropped $1. So it's just one where it's not super risky. If you buy it, it could go nowhere, but it's at least in your collection at that point. If you buy it, it could go up, but I just don't see it dropping drastically here soon. Chilling Reign has been on the rise, so this one is a more safe pick from this video, just in terms of losing money. I don't think you're really going to lose much buying this, but it also doesn't seem, just looking at the graph, it doesn't seem like it has much movement at all in the past year. So next up, we have Mew from Crown Zenith, this Mew Trainer Gallery. This is another one I talked highly of in a recent video. Again, I picked up a couple of them. Actually, I picked up this one. It's another one that's been sitting around this range for a little bit, several months now. It's pretty much since the start of the year, but it was $8 at one point. Crown Zenith right now is just a set that has a ton of cards in the $10 to $15 range, and I think this one just got pushed out of it. Once again, I just think this is somewhat the floor. You don't typically see Mew cards, no matter how easy they are to pull, much lower than $3 or $4. So I think I just think it's not really going to go down. It could go down $1. I think it could also go up to $8 pretty easily, and you double your money at that point. So that's why it's here. Crown Zenith just has an overflow of cards right now that are expensive, and this one's been pushed down because of that. So lastly, what I'm going to talk about is Gengar. I was looking at the cards I picked up in the video. I've mentioned it several times now, and this one's at $240 right now market price. You can get it a little bit lower, $2. I picked up several of these at $180 just a couple months ago. So we've already seen a 60-cent increase, and 60 cents doesn't sound like a lot, but when you percentage it out of $2, it was 181, so out of that, that's a 30% increase. When booster boxes go up 30%, people are selling them at that point. And it's just another one of these trainer galleries that just kind of gets looked over sometimes. Lost Origin's been on the rise. I said that earlier. The booster boxes have been going crazy. It's just one that's it's cheap. You can add it to your collection, and you're not going to lose a lot if it doesn't go anywhere. But looking at the year stats or looking towards the floor, once again, I think it could end up being $3 to $5 in a month or two. But you never really know with cards this low. That's why if you're going to pick some up, just pick up $10 worth. Don't pick up $100 worth of, $2.40 of Gengar, because then you're taking a big risk. But when you just buy a few of them, you're not losing much if they happen to go down. That's the video, though. There's several cards that I'm looking at from Sword and Shield, a couple from Scarlet and Violet. Let me know your thoughts, what cards you might be looking at. My main point is I think some of these gold and rainbow cards are going to be taking a leap here in the future by a few dollars. So see you guys next time.